Alright, so with this week's episode of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, we pretty much have an episode dedicated to the newly revived Swordsman of the Mist, and we see a fight ensuing between the Mizukage as well as Boruto and Sarada. And there's probably going to be other characters that are probably going to arrive to the scene. From what it seemed like in this episode, it seemed like Shikadai and also Inojin were also on their way to Boruto's location because they simply did not want to ignore, you know, what exactly is going on between Sarada and Boruto. But the thing is that we actually see in this episode that they end up getting kind of cornered by Suigetsu and also Mitsuki. Now, I know for a fact nothing is going to happen with Shikamaru and Inojin because of the fact that Mitsuki even says that they are his friends. But the thing is that what exactly is going to go down between Shikadai and Inojin for, you know, eavesdropping on the conversation between Suigetsu and Mitsuki is going to be interesting. Like, you know, is Mitsuki going to tell them what is going on? Most likely not, but I mean, they did kind of overhear what is going on between Suigetsu and Mitsuki. Now, to what that is exactly, we don't really know, but we do know that Mitsuki has been an undercover ninja for quite some time now, and he has ties with Orochimaru. And then there's also Suigetsu, who also has ties in with Orochimaru as well, for meeting him with, you know, Sasuke back in, you know, Naruto Shippuden and all that. So yeah, when it comes down to Mitsuki and Suigetsu, we don't really know what exactly is going on between the two of them, but they are more or less just working with each other, and there's probably something involving Orochimaru within it as well. And we did see Suigetsu give Mitsuki a scroll. Now, to what that scroll contains, I'm not exactly sure. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what exactly you think that scroll could be. If anything, I'm assuming it could be a message from Orochimaru himself, and this is probably going to give, you know, Mitsuki his next, you know, order as to what he needs to do. As to what exactly is going on, though, like, that's what I really am interested in when it comes down to, you know, the Boruto series. Like, what exactly is going on? We know that he's gathering intel. As to what that intel could be for is just up in the air at the moment. We only have gotten a few tidbits of information when it comes down to that. So I'm very curious as to what exactly is going on along, you know, the sidelines, you know, when it comes down to Boruto. But anyways, getting into the meat of this episode, this whole entire episode was just pretty much just showing that the newly revived legendary swordsmen of the Hidden Mist Village are now up and at 'em. They managed to acquire pretty much all of the weapons that were, you know, locked away, and now we see them, you know, about to start a coup d'etat against, you know, the Mizukage himself, and technically the whole village, because they want to have the village revert back to its original state, and they hate the current Mizukage for the way on how exactly it has turned out, and poses as a tourist destination, you know what I'm saying? So, but I gotta say, when it came down to the fighting within this this episode, I gotta say, it was very, very underwhelming. It really was. Now, granted, we're probably not going to get to the main fight until next week's episode, because judging on how this episode played out, it seemed as though Boruto seems like he will be going up against Shizuma. I believe that is how you pronounce his name. You know, the guy that looks like Kisame. Yeah, you already know who I'm talking about. And then we also have Sarada. Looks like she will be going up against Shizuma's girlfriend, from, I guess, what it looks like. Now, come in turn, it seems as though that this individual that Sarada is going up against is actually the daughter of Raiga, which was one of the previous legendary swordsmen of the Hidden Mist Village. And if you guys remember, back in Naruto, I believe there was a like a Curry filler arc where we saw, you know, Might Guy, Rock Lee, and then also Naruto within that episode, and they went up against Raiga. So it's kind of cool to see. You know, I could be wrong on the episode itself, but I believe that was the episode. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments down below and correct me. No harm in that. But nonetheless, I like how it's kind of like tying in, you know, the older generation of the legendary swordsman into the new generation. Like, I find that to be actually pretty cool. Now, one thing I wanted to state when it comes down to this episode of Boruto is that regarding the newly formed team regarding, you know, the legendary swordsman of the Hidden Mist, I mean, technically they didn't earn this title whatsoever. They just kind of stole the weapons. But nonetheless, when it comes down to this team, I just gotta say, like, I'm not exactly sure how I'm feeling when it comes down to the new generation, you know, seemingly becoming more OP than the previous generation. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, with each generation, you know, you have a lot more knowledge, technology, and also just, you know, a lot more wisdom in general. So, in turn, each and every generation is going to advance than the previous. Don't get me wrong on that. But the thing is that when it came down to the fight at the very end with the Mizukage, like, I gotta say, the Mizukage, either he is just toying with these guys, or this dude is actually that weak. Like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, I don't know how I feel about, I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. What do you guys think? Do you think Chojuro is just playing with these guys? Or do you think that, you know, the legendary swordsman of the Hidden Mist, this new team, they are playing with Chojuro, and Chojuro is actually just that weak? Because when it came down to the episode made him look really, really weak. Like the weakest Kage. Anyways, guys, that about does it for my episode review of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. I'm curious as to what exactly is going on between, you know, Soigetsu, Mitsuki, and just everything revolving around that in general, what exactly that scroll contains. When it comes down to the overall fight between, you know, Boruto, Sarada, Chojuro, and the rest of, the legendary swordsman of the Hidden Mist or whatever, they're not really legendary because, again, they stole the weapons and whatnot. But I'm curious as to how this fight is going to go about. I'm curious, and just to see how Kagura comes out of this is going to be interesting as well. But something tells me that we might experience another Talk No Jutsu. So, just be prepared for that. That about does it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that red subscribe button down below if you want to see more. And with that said, I'll catch you all in the next one.